Today our poem is The Bangle Sellers by Sarojini Naidu. She is called the Nightingale of India. Sarojini Naidu is socialist politician. This poem is actually a song and it was published in 1912 in the collection called The Bird of Time, Song of the Life, Death and its Sayings. In this poem, the poet has tried to reflect different stages of life of Indian women, traditional Indian patriarchal society. So often this poem is being criticized as praising patriarchal society. It has been said by many critics that the poet has positively supported the patriarchal society because in this poem it has been showed that when she is a little child, when she is a girl, she is dreaming for the marriage without any freedom. When she is bride, she is dreaming of going to her husband's house, and she is waving between the love of mother's house and the husband's house. And when she is matured enough, then also she don't have any right. The utmost right which she got is to sit with her husband. So on this basis it has been criticized by many critics. But on the other side we can easily say that she has celebrated the femininity of Indian women and she has tried to elaborate that the Indian woman enjoys her responsibility and responsibility with freedom is rather given to the Indian women. So now I will start the poem and we will comprehend it line by line. So, bangle seller are those who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. So, the narrator in the poem is bangle seller. So, there are many bangle sellers. So, only one man is not narrating, the bangle sellers are narrating the poem. They are telling about themselves that we are the bangle sellers. In the first line they are telling who we are the bangle seller who bear the load, who carry the load of what? Of bangles. And what has been word used instead of bangles? Our shiny loads. So, bangles are called shiny loads to the temple fair. So, there is a fair in the temple. So, they are carrying their shiny loads to the temple to sell them so that they might get anyone who can buy their bangles. So, in the first two lines the narrator have given their introduction that who they are, and in the third line they rather advertise their bangles. They try to tell the qualities of their bangles. We will buy these, who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow tinted circle of light. So, there is a question that who will buy these delicate, tender, bright, luminous, rainbow tinted circles of light. So, bangles are circles of light, rainbow tinted, multicolored, Vibgyor colored, 7 colored. So, by 7 colors, here the poet tries to say that they are multicolored and they are circles of light. So, as light is reflected from a glass and as there is a rainbow in the sky, So as the bangles are reflecting, they are breaking the light in their multicolor. So they have a question in their mind that who will buy their circles of light. So here bangle is imagined as a circle of light, and it is to be equated with glamour and luster that a woman have when she wears a bangle. So luster, glamour is equated with light. Lustrous token of radiant life. So these bangles are what? These are tokens of radiant life, token of such life which is prosperous, happy, radiating, exposing, giving something out. So they are tokens. As in Indian patriarchal society, and when the poem was framed, in that time widows were not allowed to wear the bangles. So it is clearly indicated that bangle is a token of prosperous life. So if women is wearing a bangle, she is having a token of rich and prosperous life by every means. Lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. So the girls who are not even married, they are daughters, they are maidens, but for them also it is a lustrous token because they are imagining to get married. And the woman who is getting married, who became a wife, that is a token for her of a prosperous life. So this was the point I was telling in the starting, that women is imagining to get married all over her life in the starting phase. Critics criticize this point, that she did not have enough freedom, she is relied only on the males. And that is what being praised by the poet. So now we come to the second stanza of the poem. Some are meet for the maiden's wrist, silver and blue as the mountain mist. So these bangles are of different colors, and some bangles are especially made for the maiden's wrist, those who are not married girls, young enough. So they are silver colored and blue color, and they are comparable with the mist of the mountains. Now mist of the mountains is very fragile, so the young girl is very delicate and fragile. So here mountain mist is compared with the delicacy of the young girl, to whom the color silver and blue suits. And here just see, mountain mist, alliteration has been used. And if you just look at the first para, you will see bangle seller are we who bear, are shining lords to the temple fair, bear, fair, bright, light, lives, wives. These are all rhyming words. So there is a proper rhyming scheme, A, B, B, C, C, and this poem is full of imagery, as you must have seen, and you must be noticing that every line is full of imagery. So this mist of the mountain is compared to the tenderness, delicacy of a young girl, and the color that suit to the young girl is silver and blue. So some bangles, silver bangle and blue bangles are suited for the young girls. Some are flushed like the buds that dream. So, flushed is red. So, some are like the buds they dream. Now, buds are again compared with the young girls. As the buds flush, so the girls flush into the imagination of getting married. And here it has been told that some bangles are flushed like the buds that dream on the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. So, where are the buds flourishing? Where are they flushing? On the tranquil brow, on a peaceful brow, peaceful eyebrow of a woodland stream. So, small stream, forest stream. So, like the buds flush on a woodland stream, so that the young girls imagine and flush with their parents, and they are relied on males, obviously father, patriarchal society. So, that is being compared here. Buds are compared with girls. And just look at the lines, silver and blue as the mountain mist, as the like. Whenever you use this, you are using simile. So, you have used simile here. The poet is using simile. Silver and blue as the mountain mist, as the mountain mist. Some are flushed like the buds that dream, like the simile. On the tranquil brow of the woodland stream. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. So, some of bangles are aglow, glowing. Some bangles are glowing with the bloom that cleaves. They are glowing with the gloom, and glowing with the bloom that sticks. Cleaves means sticks closely to the limpid glory, to the clear glory. So, glowing with the bloom and sticking to the clear glory of the newborn leaves. So, there is a glory of a newborn leaves. Now, what is the color of newborn leaves? Green color. So, some bangles are green. Here also the poet marks a color that suits for a young girl, green color. So, we get 4 colors, silver, blue, red and green. With blue color, she has identified blue and silver, she has identified the young age, and they are blossoming as red color, and they are like the newborn green leaves. So, and that is a very clear glory, that is a delicate glory what the young age girls have. Now, we come to the next stanza. In this first stanza, 4 colors are associated with the young age of a woman's life. Now, some are like the fields of sunlit corn. Corn is yellow in color, and when the sunlight falls on the corn, it is a sunlit corn, shining yellow, bright yellow. So, some bangles are bright yellow. Meet for a bride on the bridal morn, and that is suitable for a bride who will wear it in the morning of her marriage. Now, just see, when she was a girl, she was imagining a marriage. When she is getting married, she is changing the color of the bangles. This is the point to be criticized. That is what in this poem is criticized, that the whole life women is thinking about the marriage. So, meet for the bride on the bridal morn. So, on the bridal morning of the her wedding ceremony, she will wear yellow bangles that will be like corn which are lighted by the sun. Some like the flame of her marriage fire. So, color of the fire is obviously yellow mixed with red. So, some bangles are reddish in color, and that is associated with flame of the marriage. Or rich with the hue of heart's desire. Now, the passion of her heart is associated with red color. So, the color for the young bride which suits to her are yellow like the corn and like the desire and like the fire, reddish. Tinkling, luminous, tender and clear. Now, let us see. Her laughter and her tear. Laughter and tear of bride are associated with tinkling. So, laughter is associated with tinkling. Now, here in tinkling there is a sound. So, it is an onomatopoeia, figure of speech. So, tinkling, luminous, bright, radiating, tender, delicate and clear. So, they are tinkling, they are luminous, bright, tender and clear. What are the bangles? Bangles are, there are 4 qualities, 4 adjectives for the bangles. They are tinkling, they are luminous, they are tender and they are clear. So, these are compared with what? These are compared with laughter and tears of bride. Now, why she is laughing and why she is having tears? Because she is wavering between the love of her mother's house and the imagination of going to the husband house. So, laughter is for going to a new house and weeping is for losing her mother's house. So, she is wavering between the 2 edges. Now, the bride's laughter and bride's tear are compared like this with the bangles. So, now in this poem we have travelled to the second stage of the women's life. When she was a young girl imagining of marriage and when she is a matured woman getting married. Now, we come to the next stanza. There are some more colors. Some are purple and gold flecked grey. So, some are purple colored and grey colored and they are flecked with gold. There are gold flecking in the bangles. Now, what does grey color indicate? Grey color is indicating that the luster has gone down, but the maturity has increased. The purple color shows power and gold flecked is showing the prosperity. So, luster is down, but power and prosperity is up. For she who had journeyed through the midway. Now, these bangles are for those women who have journeyed midway of their life. They have reached the middle of their life, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed. And what they have been doing? They have been cherishing and they have been loving the children, the family to whom they have given birth, and they are taking care of them. And cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, who have cradled their fair sons. Now, again there is objection. Why the poet has written fair sons? Why not fair children? Because the Indian woman is expected to give birth to only son. And cradle fair sons and her faithful breast, and serves her household in the fruitful pride. So, what she has done up till now? She has been serving her household in a very proud manner, as if she is getting very much fruit from that. But actually, the critics say, and just see the last line of the poem, and worships the god at her husband's side. So, this is what she has achieved in the life. She is worshipping the god which are on the side of her husband. Now, it has many implications. She is worshipping the god at religious ceremony which her husband used to worship, or now she is eligible to sit with her husband. In both the cases, it is against the human dignity, because she has given so much service and she has attained just the right to sit with the husband. But if we take the side of a poet, we can say that the poet is celebrating the femininity of Indian women who is enjoying her life with all these responsibility and with this status, not rebelling to any of the responsibilities. So, this was the explanation of Sarojini Naidu's famous poem, The Bangle Sellers. I hope you must have enjoyed. Thank you very much.